Isle of Dogs is an animated stop-motion film written, produced, and directed by Wes Anderson. Stars Bryan Cranston, Edward Norton, Bill Murray, Jeff Goldblum, Greta Gerwig, Frances McDormand, Courtney B. Vance, Fisher Stevens, Harvey Keitel, Liev Schreiber, Bob Balaban, Scarlett Johansson, Tilda Swinton, Angelica Houston, Yoko Ono, Frank Wood, and F. Murray Abraham. And basically, we're dealing with a futuristic dystopian future with dogs. So basically, by executive decree, all the canine pets of Megasaki City, they are being exiled to a vast garbage truck dump called Trash Island. And so we follow a 12-year-old kid named Atari, and he sets off alone in a miniature Junior Turbo prop and flies across the river in search of his bodyguard, Dark Spots. There, with the assistance of a pack of newly found mongrel friends, which is basically dogs, he begins an epic journey that will decide the fate and the future of the entire prefecture in his city. This movie has been met with a lot of critical praise, and I can simply say this is a great movie, but it's not the masterpiece everyone says it is. I do have some problems with the movie, but the best thing I can compliment this movie for is Wes Anderson's direction and his writing. Wes Anderson, I have not watched a whole lot of Wes Anderson's movies. I've only seen Fantastic Mr. Fox up until this point. This is basically my second Wes Anderson movie I've ever seen. So, I will say his direction and his writing is very amazing here. The stop motion tricks that he decides to go with are really great. The way each character is well done is in that whole stop motion thing, and the stop motion itself looks pretty darn good, especially now. Stop motion can never be a bad thing with animated films. Whether it's stop motion or computer generated or hand drawn, I'm into it. I'm into it, honestly. And it's fun. It's cool because you don't expect to see that in movies nowadays. But they actually decided to do it. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty ballsy for them to do that. The voice acting in this movie is great. Everyone does a great job. From Bryan Cranston to Edward Norton to Courtney B. Vance to Scarlett Johansson to F. Murray Abraham. There's only one person in this cast I don't particularly care for, but I'll get to it in my negatives. The music in this movie is great. I like the music here. I really love Alexandre Desplat as a composer. I really enjoyed his score in the Twilight Saga New Moon. That was one of the few good positives I gave that movie. I loved the score. I really loved the hell out of his musical score for Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows. Both Part 1 and Part 2. Part 2, especially with statues and Voldemort's End and Lily's theme. And the whole music throughout the entire Battle of Hogwarts. But Deathly Hallows Part 1, to me, is the one that Alexandre Desplat really showed his music chops. Especially Snape to Malfoy Manor. You can't forget Snape to Malfoy Manor. I'm sorry, I did not mean to. It had to do that. Hour and 41 minutes, and it doesn't feel like an hour and 41 minutes. It gets you straight in, gets you straight out. And for a PG-13 movie, it does get pretty intense at times, but it's a very fun good time to watch. It's not like Batman Under the Red Hood, where I'm basically sitting there and I'm upset. Now, the only negatives that holds this movie from being seal of approval worthy is I don't really care for Tilda Swinton's performance in this movie all that much. I know a lot of people like Tilda Swinton, but I'm not really a fan of Tilda Swinton. The only movies that I can tolerate Tilda Swinton in are the Narnia films and Michael Clayton. But I only watched Michael Clayton because George Clooney was in that movie. So basically, those are the only two movies I can tolerate her in. But still, and also I feel like this movie, some of the cultural stuff, you kind of screwed with some of the cultural stuff, and when you mess with cultural stuff, sometimes, yep, you're basically gonna set yourself up for failure with that. But overall, you have some great acting, you have some good animation, great direction. Wes Anderson knew what he was doing with this, and I applaud him for the story. This was a very intriguing and very amazing story. So, I'm gonna give Isle of Dogs an Epictastic. Let me know what you guys think about Isle of Dogs down below. Do you like it? Do you not like it? I will see you guys in the next video. This is Future for McDormand 480 signing out. You guys keep it cool.